This is Middle Class Matt, your average sports fan and sports genius. With football over, I am totally focused on basketball. I'm a big basketball fan. My three sports that I love are football, basketball, and boxing. Those are the ones I watch. I'm a huge ACC fan because I live in the Triangle area in North Carolina, Tobacco Road. Really the mecca of college basketball, maybe the mecca of basketball, period. One thing that I love to do, and this is one of the reasons why I do these blogs, is that I talk to a lot of average sports fans. In the Triangle area and in ACC country in general, we all kind of feel that we're, experts. The sad part is a lot of the fans that I talk to know more than the real experts. The guys who do the local radio, and just turn your radio on, you'll be able to hear them. I don't have to name names. They're terrible. They know nothing about ACC basketball. They know nothing about sports. They just randomly talk about anything but sports. Heard a guy call into the Steve Logan show. Now, he is good. He's football, but he is good. And he said, I'm so sad, Steve Logan, that you're going off because all these local guys on the radio, they talk about everything but sports. Now, they would sit there and look at a guy like me and say, man, whatever, I'm getting paid the big bucks. But still, I know more about sports. Tune in if you want to hear about it. I'm talking about the Miami-North Carolina game that happened this weekend. Now, Miami, after destroying Duke by 27, and then yesterday beating North Carolina by 26, and also with their other impressive wins like against State, people are actually starting to talk, and this is crazy talk before the season, or crazy talk, 2 years ago. Miami was considered a second, maybe third-rate basketball program in the ACC. They're talking about they're the best team in the country. Now, I really like Michigan, but there's not a lot of teams that I would mention with Miami. I knew that Miami would be that level of a team before the season, but that's because I know more than the experts, even though I'm just the average fan. Their big man combination, their three big men, especially Johnson and Kaji, make it a very difficult matchup. Talked about that in the past in some of my videos. Kaji is 6'11" and shoots threes. He's 23, 24 years old. And Johnson's 6'10", got to be over 300 pounds, and there really isn't anybody matched. Now, they have another guy named Gamble, and he actually has stepped up and is playing as well as anybody. And he's a beast, too. He's about 6'9", 275. Looks like LeBron James in the body. Not the game, but the body. Big guy, though. And they just destroyed Carolina yesterday. I'll get to why I think that happened, but for the most part, like I said, this is something that a lot of people outside of the ACC didn't see coming. But if you're an ACC basketball fan, this should have been obvious that Miami's one of the most balanced teams. And they have a lot of talent and a lot of veteran talent. Yesterday, watching the Carolina game, if it wasn't bad enough to see my team lose, I had to sit there and listen to Doris Burke. Horrible. Just run the mouth and say the same things. If I hear one more person on ESPN, one more person talk about Shane Larkin and how he was trained by Pete Rose, etc., how to hit, and his little league coach, and that's why I put the same story every time. ESPN just has a monopoly. We have to listen to them because they have the games. But their announcers are horrible. And it seems like every ACC game I watch, I get Doris Burke. Why can't they send her to the Big East or the Big Ten? It's terrible. Anyway, North Carolina was outmatched. They were at Miami. Miami's the better team. Miami's undefeated in the ACC. Now, I don't think a lot of people would have seen that coming in. I would have picked them top 3 in the ACC, easy, preseason. But I wouldn't have seen them being undefeated. I think they're 10-0 in the ACC. That's crazy. That I probably wouldn't have seen coming. But the thing that really I think is telling about this game is the point guard play. Like I said, Miami's at home. They're more talented, or at least as talented as Carolina. They have veterans. They're older. They have a good coach. I heard somebody recently, an ACC fan, say that Miami better enjoy their wins right now because they'll be wiped away in 5 years. Because we all know they're investigating. They got all sorts of violations down there. But really, point guard play is the key. While a lot of the Carolina players didn't have great games, the freshman point guard, Marcus Page, is the one who really struggled. He had 2 points. Shane Larkin, on the other hand, who's becoming one of the better point guards in the country, had 18 points, 9 assists. He's starting to look like that he could be. He actually is in the top 5 for the best point guard in the nation, and he's looking like that's due. He's starting to get his national attention. People that are ACC fans know this guy's a good player. They know his dad was a great baseball player, but at the same time, he's really starting to live up to the billing of having a Hall of Famer for a dad. So, North Carolina gets beat. They get beat 87-61. Poorly ref game, like always in the ACC. Carolina shot only 6 free throws. That's ridiculous. But what can you expect from the ACC? Anyway, got more ACC videos to come. This is Middle Class Matt. See if the Hills can do better against Duke, and I'll be previewing that game this week.